hear it ticking? Good morning, Miss Madrid. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm looking forward to our discussion this morning in regards to our November 15th observation during your social studies period. My objective here is to cover the Danielson domains within the questions. So if at any time you feel that you need to ask a question or provide input, please do so. I encourage that. The first objective and domain that I would like us to discuss is the monitoring of student learning, which is the 3D. So can you please elaborate a little bit on what learning took place as a result of the lesson? And in your opinion, do you feel that the objective, that your goal was met for that lesson?
I feel that the students were able to meet the objective of the lessons because we were able to go through how land has been modified throughout history, and depending on the need of society and its people, and how it will be modified depending in the nearby future to also be able to satisfy the changes that will occur throughout time. We were able also to see how the children were able to understand because they were able to answer the questions adequately. They seemed to understand and comprehend because they were able also to relate their personal experiences, like going on trips on bridges, going under the tunnels to get from point A to point B. So they relate their personal experiences to the modifications we have today.
And in the monitoring of student learning, which would fall under the domain 3D, how do you know and what kind of evidence would you be able to provide as far as knowing that the objective was met?
Okay, they were they were able to explain, compare, and contrast the modifications from the past to the present. To see, for example, farming, how it has been changed throughout history to be able to provide for today's society, how landforms provide crops, and how bridges are able to help transport goods to places. So they were able to elaborate on those questions and understand what was the reason for those modifications and the transportations in the process.
Thank you. Now, in your opinion, in the continuation of monitoring the student learning, were the needs of all students met, and how do you know?
Okay, I feel that all of the needs of the students, even the low-end spectrums, were met because we did charts for the ones that didn't understand the elaborations and the questions in the textbook. We were able to do visual on the board in doing comparing and contrasts and elaborating and giving more defined definitions on the needs of society and the changes and modifications throughout the course.
Okay. So along that line, engaging all students, you talking about doing charts and doing visuals, how did the students take ownership of their learning?
They were able to go back into the chapters and reread and extract main ideas and details from the chapters in itself, and then with that information we were able to do compare and contrast from the information in the book.
What was the ReadWorks?
The ReadWorks was a story that we read about the first tunnel, and they were able to recall the information how the first tunnel was made to the textbook when it came to the explanation of tunnels and modifying the land to, to transport, for transportation purposes.
Okay. Would you be able to discuss one thing that you would do differently the next time you do this lesson?
Yes, I would love to learn a little bit more about technology and how to bring it into the classroom, and be able to step back a little bit more and let the students practically do more of the leading in the class in itself. Bring in educational videos where they could see videos actually of land modifications, how they changed throughout history, and the workers in itself doing the work and how it's done.
And finally, feedback to students. How would you say that your feedback to the students based on the lesson, how it went? So next time, based on how that lesson went and based on what you would do differently, okay, what kind of feedback would you give the kids the next time around?
I will let them elaborate more between each other and listen to their discussions. Practically, I would ask them to, if they had any questions on the lesson in itself, what they learned, for them to be the ones that would give me more, elaborate more than rather than me teaching. I would like them to speak more rather than myself.
Okay. I have to say I enjoyed the engagement of the kids during the lesson. They were very receptive. They were very attentive to you. They were very respectful to each other. But if I may give just, my input in the lesson is to incorporate more differentiation, and in that aspect is the way you did it was great, because you read and you asked higher thinking questions. Not only did you ask them a question, but you also asked them why and give an example, which was fantastic. But in order to engage all of them and to be a more hands-on, right, to differentiate in having them I do, you do, we do, or more is I do, we do, you do, and vary the way the chapters are read, So if you know the topic is modification, you may not even need to read the chapter in of itself. Just like you said, you wanted to incorporate videos, Edpuzzle is a great site that all you look for is, modification in landscape. And it'll show you quick little 5-minute video. And what's great about it is it'll stop as the video goes. It'll stop. It will ask the kids a question, and they can't move forward until they answer that question. So if it's a 5-minute video, it might have 3 questions, 4 questions. So once they're done, that's your assessment to know they understand, the main idea of the video. And you can utilize that as your class grade if you need a grade, or as your class participation if you want to use that as a tool for assessment. Just an idea, but things like that are very helpful. And if you're open to that, I'm, as the tech person in the building too, I'm more than happy to, be there for you and give you PDs. So if you're okay with that, and together we can work out a professional growth plan, and we'll discuss that in a short while. But before I close, any questions, comments, concerns that you have of me, and within 2 days, I'll have the evaluation on real time for your review. If you have any questions, please comment, send it back to me. If you're okay with it, please acknowledge, and that will be your form of the signature that you accept the evaluation.
Ms. Madrid, I'm always open to positive criticism, to learn and to grow, and that's from the bottom of my heart. I'm interested in the best interest of the children to reach their academic goal. So any suggestions you have with technology, especially, that's my weakness. I'm open for it. I know that I have to learn, and I know that I have a lot to grow as a teacher. And like I said, whatever you have to, good ideas you have, you want me to implement in the classroom, they're more than welcome.
Well,
They're
thank
never
you so
turned
much.
away.
I'm really looking forward to our journey together. Okay, so thank you very much.
You're very welcome.